Sales training with the mortgage calculator. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll wait just a minute here to go live on all the different platforms because we are streaming this live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Feel free to drop a comment there in the chat as you tune in. We definitely appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about prospecting online. We're going to go over just some general, etiquette and advice, and we will talk more later this week about some of the other specific parts of this. So with that being said, it looks like we're live on all the different platforms, so we can go ahead and get it started here. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, and this is our loan officer sales training that we do at 12 p.m. Eastern Time every weekday. Now, today's topic is going to be prospecting online. So how are we going to find clients and partners online, right? And so there's obviously multiple ways we can do this. We have some previous sales trainings that talk about prospecting in person, prospecting on the phone, and we're going to be talking about prospecting online here. So you can also look those ones up as well. So what we'll do here is, let me go ahead and share this. And so let's go here. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, when it comes to prospecting online, the key here is we don't want to spam or mass message or email anyone. I don't care what you're trying to get a hold of them about. I don't care if it's clients or partners. We do not spam or mass, message or email anyone. We don't do BCC messages. Obviously, we don't do CC messages, right? CC emails, but we don't even do BCC emails, right? We're going to be every email we send, every message we send is always going to be customized to the person that we are addressing it to. Now, the second bullet point here, as far as looking for real social media engagement, I really mean real engagement in general. And we talk a lot about this on our Facebook group training, which we've had one, and we're going to have another one tomorrow as well. And part of that training is just understanding that when you're interacting in a Facebook group, which are very valuable, amazing ways to get customers, that you're going to do it naturally. You're not going to be spamming. You're not posting your business cards or a flyer or just doing posts telling people to work with you. You're commenting on people's posts. You're engaging in those posts, and it'll naturally end up in you being a good part of that group, and it will equal business for you eventually. Now, we'll talk about that more tomorrow, but today we can talk about all social media engagement, right? So when it comes to actually prospecting on social media, the best thing to do, instead of just, hounding people, the best thing to do is to get in groups or go on pages and comment on them, like the posts, respond to people. So it's not just about what you're posting on your page. We need to make sure we get people to our page, that we get people involved. Now, the more you comment on other people's posts, the better you are going to be in the algorithm when you make posts. Everything is related here with, obviously referring to Facebook and Instagram mainly right now, but they all have formulas, and what you're doing as a user is also affecting your formula of what people are seeing when you're posting, how many people are seeing it, how prevalent it is. So not only are you going to be out there so people can see your profile when you comment, they see your profile when you like their stuff, it's also going to help the algorithm on the back end because they know that you're an engaged user. So sometimes when you're doing social media stuff, you kind of got to put yourself in the shoes of the actual platform, right? What does Facebook want? Who does Facebook want to favor and show their content to more? Somebody who doesn't interact with other people, or somebody who's on there interacting with other people all the time, right? And so you always just want to be active. And, we're talking about doing things like looking up hashtags of, mortgages or investors, fix and flippers, realtors, whatever it is, following the different accounts that are relevant, liking their posts, commenting on the posts, all that kind of good stuff. And again, when we're commenting, we're not just doing an advertisement, we're actually commenting. And so just make sure, as far as social media goes, especially, we're looking for real engagement. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow on the Facebook groups training as well. Now, obviously, you want to figure out, where are your customers online? So we need to do a breakdown here and think of, okay, what is my target? What am I looking to target? And find out where they are, right? That goes from either websites or directories to obviously social media, but within social media, what groups are those clients in that we can target? What type of pages would they follow, right? You can go through and say, oh, everybody who follows this page must be a wannabe investor, right? Because this page is teaching people how to be investors. So now you can go through there and friend those people and comment on their posts and all that kind of good stuff, right? So that's one of the, excuse me, that's one of the first steps there is, finding out where your customers are. And at the Mortgage Calculator, we have so many loan products that a lot of you can choose what you want your kind of specialty or niche to be. And of course, you still have all the other programs available to you, but it's good to have some sort of specialty or some sort of target there. Now, when we talk about your own platforms, like your social media, what value are you providing? So, talked a little bit about it on the last bullet points there, as far as providing value to other people's pages. But on your page and on your pages, what value are you providing? Are you putting up statistics that people can learn from? Are you putting up different pieces of news and content? One of the best things about the system here at the Mortgage Calculator is you can connect your social media and we'll post these things for you automatically. But you should still be posting things. You should still be posting articles. You should be posting videos of yourself. You should be posting that you're going to this event and that event, and you're involved in this event and then at the event and all that kind of stuff too, right? But we want to provide value on these platforms for people to actually want to follow us and engage with us and stuff. And then my last bullet point here is prospecting for partners such as realtors. So here's a great one. Take down a note of this. Things like going to the National Association of Realtors website, looking up people with special designations. We've talked about this on some other trainings. You can look up, let's say you want to do a lot of commercial business. You can look up people that have the commercial endorsement on their real estate license right there for free instantly on the National Association of Realtors website. Maybe you want to specialize in foreign nationals. There's a certification that realtors can add to their license that specializes in international sales. So you can look these people up on there, and then their contact information is there, so you can reach out to them, form a partnership. Now, there's a big difference of just mass emailing a bunch of realtors saying, let's work together, all spam like. There's a big difference from doing that than going on the website, looking for people who specialize in what you want to specialize in, reaching out to them, letting them know, hey, I specialize in these type of loans. I see that you specialize in this type of transaction in your market. I would love to collaborate. That way I can, send you clients and vice versa. I need a realtor to work with when I have clients there, so that you're actually bringing something to the table. You're bringing value. And a great way to do that, as far as just being online, right? Because realtors, obviously the best way to meet them is always in person, right? So going to events and stuff is an amazing way to form partnerships with realtors. But other than that, I would say the number 2 way to form partnerships with realtors would be to do that, to reach out to them and let them know, hey, I am licensed in your state. I specialize in commercial loans. I see you specialize in commercial properties. let's network so that, let's build a relationship so that when I have clients, I have a real estate expert I can refer them to, and vice versa. So again, you're not, realtors do get a lot of messages and calls from loan officers because that's how we make money, right? We make money from referrals from realtors. So realtors are definitely getting spam from different loan officers and stuff. And so we want to cut through that by not being spam. We're not the only one that would mass email them saying, hey, we're a loan officer. We'd love to help you. We have all these loan programs and we have the best rates and we have the best turnaround times. Yeah. That's all great, right? But let's not be one of those hundreds of people that's emailing those realtors all the time. Let's be the person that's genuinely reaching out to them with an individual email and or messages on social media. LinkedIn is a great way to message them as well. We're going to address them by name. We're going to talk to them about a partnership and how we could provide value to them and why we have synergy. We're not just emailing random realtors. We're saying, hey, I looked up this type of realtor in this market. These are the people I want to build relationships with, and then reach out to them and let them know why you want to build a relationship and why that makes sense, right? So that's a good thing. As far as prospecting online, obviously prospecting for customers is great, but you could spend a ton of time there prospecting for partners such as realtors right there. So National Association of Realtors website, I recommend everybody does this. Some of you have multiple licenses. That gives you tons of areas. Keep in mind that each state license that you have has multiple markets. So although our licenses are by state, right? As a loan originator, we're licensed in the entire state. But as a realtor, you're licensed in the state, but you're usually only a part of one MLS, right? One market. Each market has its own MLS. It costs money for to be a part of that MLS. So most brokers just have their own local MLS because it's local, right? Being a realtor is very local. They're not going to go do a showing at a house 2 markets away, right? So they don't need to be a part of that MLS. So my point here is that while we're licensed statewide, when you need a realtor in that state, you need a realtor in each market, not just that state. So now look at all the opportunities that have opened for you, knowing that, Florida has 6 different MLS markets, and you need a realtor to be able to refer deals to in each of those 6 markets. You need multiple realtors to be able to refer deals to in those 6 markets, and you need to reach out to a lot of realtors in those 6 markets, even just to get those few responses back to have a couple people that you could work with, right? So there's a lot of time that you could spend on really dialing in and prospecting for partners such as realtors by doing that. And it is definitely time well spent as far as actually prospecting for something online, because one of those realtors may provide you with deals for the rest of your life, right? You just don't know. But you're never going to have those partnerships if you don't reach out. So LinkedIn is a great way to not only message them, but you can find them on there as well. But again, the National Association of Realtors is kind of handing you a perfect opportunity there of saying, hey, these people specialize in this and they're in this market. And you can say, okay, I want to reach out to all the realtors who specialize that in that market, reach out to them all, see who contacts me back, build those relationships, let them know I can send them business and vice versa. And there you go. Now you got a great partnership going from somebody that you never would have known before. All you did was take some time after this training, going to the NAR website and, following what we just talked about. So today you don't have those partnerships. Tomorrow you can have those partnerships in each market of each state that you are licensed in. And I promise you, it's going to create activity for you and will eventually create referrals. So it's definitely worth the time spent there. So as I said, later this week, we're going to be going over the Facebook group training, which is a big part of prospecting online. So I made it its own training because most of our loan officers who have a lot of success prospecting online, on their own, right? We're not talking about our leads. Our leads are coming to you all day from online. but we're talking about you prospecting yourself online, and that's probably the most successful way. Our loan officers that are having a lot of success by getting clients online, they're typically doing it through Facebook groups, and we're going to talk tomorrow about how to do that effectively and properly. But just in general today, make sure we're not mass messaging, mass emailing anyone. Every email we send should have the person's name in it. It should be different, right? So not only should the person's name be in it, but if we're going to email somebody else, we should be changing the wording of the email. Understand that Gmail and these other mail accounts, even if it's to a separate person and you're not sending it as a mass message, if it has the same exact content in it, it's going to start being put in spam. So you want to make sure to personally address each person. So let's say you find 20 realtors you're going to contact, and you're essentially sending them all the same thing, right? But you want to switch up the wording a little bit here and there, change each one, obviously insert their name into it, but change the writing a little bit, move around a couple sentences, change a couple words, and then that's going to allow it to have a better delivery rate and not go to spam, because these servers are not stupid, right? They know if you just sent that same exact wording to 4 other people, to 4 other Gmail accounts, the next Gmail account you send it to is going to block it, because they know it's going to put it into spam, because they know that you're just, emailing a bunch of people the same thing, right? So we're not going to spam anyone. Same thing goes with Facebook and stuff. Don't just keep sending everybody the same message, right? If you're messaging people on Facebook or whatever the case may be, because we're going for real engagement. There's no shortcuts to this, right? This is going to be something you're going to have to do, especially when it comes to social media. There's no shortcuts to it. The only cool shortcut that we're providing here is that we can constantly post compliant content for you that sends people to your website to apply. That's what we do here when you connect your social media, which is great, but that's just doing the bare minimum, right? That's just doing 2 posts a day as the bare minimum. It's not actually providing real engagement and content, and there's just no way around this. You're going to have to spend some time on this. We had our time management training. Some of that is going to be spent prospecting, and this is part of that prospecting as well. So you're going to have to set some time aside to really get your social media going, engaging. You don't have to be some social media rock star. You don't have to be some TikToker that's posting videos of themselves every 10 seconds doing all kinds of stuff. Again, the only time I've really talked about posting, videos of yourself and stuff is more so talking about when you're at events and going to events and stuff. Now, if you want to really go all the way with it, then yeah, doing all kinds of, TikTok-y type posts and stuff on all the platforms, of course, that'll increase engagement. But that's not really what I'm asking of you, right? I'm really asking the basics from you all of just making sure that you're really on social media and actually engaging, and not just as you posting things, but also as a user and engaging. And that's what's going to make people follow you in the first place. It doesn't do any good for us to keep posting to your social media every day if you're not bringing in any followers into it. And the best way to bring in followers is to interact on other people's posts and other people's hashtags and other people's comments on other people's things. But again, if you see something where you can comment, don't comment a promotion for yourself. Comment something that provides value to that conversation. That's the only way somebody's going to go follow you, is like, oh, wow, this was a great comment. Oh, this was a great addition. Oh, this person knows what they're talking about. Oh, this person has something unique. And that's what's going to cause them to actually follow you, right? And then some people will follow you just because you followed them, right? So it's just, there's not going to be this growth, this exponential growth of activity if you're doing absolutely nothing on the user end to try to get more people involved. But again, super cool. We'll do the very basics for you. 2 posts a day of compliant content to your followers that links back to you, to goes into your CRM and all that kind of good stuff. We're going to provide that, but you're going to need to take it above and beyond and just get into it. It's just something we got to do nowadays, right? Don't say, oh, I don't know how to work social media, or I'm not good at it, or I don't like it, or I don't want to put myself out there that much. It's just something we got to do nowadays, right? And so even if you are good at closing loans already and all that kind of stuff, just in the long term, we want to make sure that we're always building our social media and we're always prospecting online. And then, of course, just to go over one last time, the last bullet point here is probably the best nugget for today to take away, which is, prospecting for realtors, which is the lifeblood of our business here, right? Referrals from realtors. One realtor can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the course of your career just by getting that one partnership with that one realtor that ends up sending you deals over the course of the next 20 years, right? Jose has customers, he has realtors that he's worked with for 20 years that have referred him, maybe one deal a year for the past 20 years, and he's made hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission just because of that relationship with that one realtor. So it's very exponential there. All right. So I don't see any questions. NAR website, that's the nugget to take away from today. Figure out where your customers are, what your niche is, right? And then go prospect for those types of realtors on the NAR website. We actually have a training on that as well. If you look on I believe it's on our YouTube. It might be private in the training center for the Mortgage Calculator team, but we actually have a training where Jose actually goes over and shows you how to do that. But it's very simple. You just look up their directory and then you can sort it by designation is what they call it, right? So you can go to the NAR website, look up their directory, sort it by designation, pick the designation that you feel fits you best, and that's what you're going to use as kind of the carrot to go form those partnerships. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow for the next sales training tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, for the sales training hosted by the Mortgage Calculator.